Khan. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, Shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwath. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just want to tap into a brief live stream. The title came through the inspiration of the beloved priest of Yashamath out of Mississippi. A lesson he was doing a couple of days ago. He had made the mention of coining Esau as the most reckless heathen to ever do it. All right, he highlighted how it will be a good album cover. Yeah, that's a good title as well. All right, because it's true. It couldn't be more valid. All right, Evil E, the self-proclaimed white man, is the worst heathen to ever do it. All right, he's the worst heathen. All right, to rule over the nations, man. He's the worst heathen to have been able to give in governance over the earth. All right, he's the worst heathen. All right, to have been given the charge to be able to lead nations, man. All right, he's the worst heathen to offend our power. He's done the most when it comes to offending our power, man. All right, this dude's destroyed the ecosystem. He's destroyed populations of people, man. This dude has wreaked havoc, all right, on life as we know it, man. All right, and this guy is in a position now where the Lord is beginning to visit this dude. All right, and all his atrocities are starting to catch up to him, man. It's only a matter of time before it will catch up to you, bro. You know, as much as you got niggas talking about God loves everybody, all right, and the remnant of heathen can be saved. No, contrary to what these niggas are talking about, the scriptures highlight how the Lord hates you, my man. As a matter of fact, let me open up with this real quick through the spirit. And the Lord's going to show his hate towards the so-called white man in the days to come. When you go to the book of, let me see here. The book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 27 and verse 24, and it reads, I have hated many things, but nothing like him, for the Lord will hate him, man. All right, and it's highlighted in various scriptures. Two that come to mind is Romans 9 and Malachi 1. All right, which we might get Malachi 1. All right, highlighting how the Lord hates you, Esau, man. All right, we can't get around that fact. All right, which eliminates the only emotion these wacky-tacky, bugged-out Renaissance so-called Christians try to stand on, with the Lord having only the emotion of love. No, man. The Lord hates, bro. Okay, again, he's about to exact judgment on Esau and show how much he hates this man, all right, in the days to come. But what I wanted to get into, man, all right, is I want to highlight the inception of this dude Esau, bro. All right, when you go into the book of Maccabees, first Maccabees, right, which is in the Apocrypha, all right, which is the Deuterocanonical book, which is part of the Old Testament, which is canon. All right, unbeknownst to these Protestants and these and the Bible destruction group. No, the Apocrypha is canon. Okay, it ties in with circular history. We can easily prove that to you. All right, this is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, real quick, and verse 7, and it reads. All right, so Alexander, right, this is talking to Alexander the Greek. All right, Alexander the Great. We call him Alexander the Creep. Right, reigned 12 years and then died. And his servants bear rule, every one in his place. Okay, and his servants, he divided his kingdom amongst his 4 generals. All right, you had Cassandra, Lasamicus, Seleucid, and Ptolemy. All right. Now watch this. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after many years. After them, many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth, man. Okay? And even amongst them, and mind you, these are Edomites. All right? And even amongst them, okay, you had something called the Syrian Wars, okay, which was a series of 6 wars that took place between the Ptolemy Empire and the Seleucid Empire, man. Okay? Over a specific land over there in Syria during the time of classical antiquity. Well, you see? And this is the reality of what they were doing. This is the beginning of Evil E's reign of terror, bro. All right, the beginning of him shaking kingdoms, man. And as a matter of fact, what I want to do for edification, I got a little bit of time. Let's read on this. Let me see here. Let me type this up real quick. The Syrian Wars. Let me see something real quick. Not to get too deep, but just real quick. See what we can derive out of this. All right, because again, this is the there's no other text you can find where other heathens started reigning and the evils increased on the earth, man. There's a reason why that's written, man. Okay, because evil Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, the son of perdition, he's him. Okay, he's the most reckless heathen to ever do it. And again, the water to my beloved brother, Yashamath out of Mississippi, the beloved priest out of Mississippi, the water beloved Aki. That's heavy right there. That would be a fire album cover as well. All right, the most reckless heathen to ever do it. And the scripture shed light on this dude to prove that. All right, real quick. I got this in Wikipedia real quick. Going into the Syrian Wars, right? We're not going to go crazy. Oh, man, this is the spirit. Validation of the Apocrypha right here. Look, the Syrian Wars were a series of 6 wars, like we told you, right? Between the Seleucid Empire and the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt. What do you think this was over? It was about land grab and resource, man. Hey, Shalom, Amat. Hey, how about Shemiah Shabarak Love? Hey, the water for the title, the water. Yeah, I was tapping into your lesson that you did a couple of days ago. That will be a fire album cover and a title for a lesson, man. The most reckless heathen to ever do it. And the proof is in the pudding. We're going to get information through the scriptures, through prophecy, proving it. Yeah, we got receipts. All right, here we go. So the Syrian Wars were a series of 6 wars between the Seleucid Empire and Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt. Successor states to Alexander the Great's empire. We're reading about this right now in 1 Maccabees. This is circular history. Okay? During the 3rd and 2nd centuries during the 3rd and 2nd centuries BC, over the region then called Coel Syria, one of the few avenues in Egypt, right? And this is during the time of classical antiquity. Continuing on, these conflicts drained the material and manpower of the parties and led to their eventual destruction and conquest by who? By Rome and Parthia. You see that? Rome, the 4th beast, via Nebuchadnezzar's vision. Okay? Which were who? Which are who? Edomites, man. And this all ties in as we go through the process of showing the destruction, all right, of the self-proclaimed white man throughout the course of his inception. Look at, they briefly mentioned in the biblical books of the Maccabees. Okay? It's highlighting here that they're briefly mentioned, which is, we're reading the 1 Maccabees, the 1st chapter, okay, and the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha is valid, man. All right, it's canon. This is why it's coined the Deuterocanonical book. Okay? And it all ties in. So this was the beginning stage, all right, of Evil E, the self-proclaimed white man. This was the beginning stages of his reign of terror, man. Right? Now, he got sat down for a brief moment. Right? That's why when you go to the book of Malachi, because after the Rome went down, the Greece went down by Rome, as it's highlighting here, as we know, via circular history, right? And then Rome got sat down. Okay? This is why when you go to the book of Malachi, real quick. Right, Malachi, the first chapter. And I'm going to go straight to the point. Now, matter of fact, I'm going to read up. I'm going to start at verse 3. Let's keep it all in context. Malachi 1 and 3, and it reads, and I hated Esau. Okay? And this precepts with Sirach 27 and 24, right? And I hated Esau, right? The self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child. That's who Esau is. This is not just talking about the man. No, this is talking about the nation, the people. Look, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the drag wilderness. And this is ultimately going to happen in its perfection upon the downfall of the revival of the Western Roman Empire. This is what this precept is talking to. Okay, upon the downfall, Mystery Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, this land's going to turn into a wilderness, man. A burnt mountain. Only dragons, the desert creatures, the screech owl is going to dwell here. You see? Now watch this, verse 4. Whereas Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child, right, saith we are impoverished, right? And this, they were impoverished during when? When they fell as the Western Roman Empire, man. Okay? And we came into a time of the Middle Ages, they call it. They call it the Dark Ages. They call it the medieval times. It was during the time of the Byzantine Empire ruling, man. Eastern Rome took over upon the downfall of Western Rome, man. Okay? And then they will be able to revive themselves via the Renaissance period around the mid-1300s, give or take. You know, roughly 1,000 years, man. You see? About 1,000 years, give or take. Right? Which prophecy highlights. Pursuing the Revelations 20. All right, so look at Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And they did via the Renaissance. Right? Which Renaissance means rebirth. Right? And they rebirthed the Western Roman Empire, bro. Right? That head that was wounded to death, but did live. Look it. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Salakia. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Host goes in the armies. Yahweh's coming in the spirit of war. Okay? As he's talking to Evil E. And his proud mindset to come build back better. And keep living and pursuing a throne of terror. Okay? Look. They shall build, but I will throw down. As look at, the Lord said they will build, but I will throw down. The Lord's gonna knock this dude off, man. Yahweh's gonna knock off Esau, okay, by sending his son. Yahweh Shai is gonna come in the spirit and the fury and the glory and the majesty of his father, man. Sweep the floor with this guy and rescue the elect out of his hands, man. The elect Israel out of his hands. And ultimately pursue a dominion on this earth that's going to be so dominant that, hey, nothing's going to be able to stop it. I tell you that and do the, what's that, Daniel 2 and 44. Okay? We're going to sweep all these, the Lord's going to sweep all these other kingdoms out of here, man. All right, let me continue on here. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, man. And this is why we always highlight and quote this precept. Okay? Because Esau is the only nation in the Bible where the Lord actually puts a epithet on this nigga, man, regarding wicked. Esau is him. He's the wicked. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. And all you niggas out there that don't think he is, that want to keep linking up with him and cuddling with him, right? Thinking he's going to be for your turn, as it tells us in Sirach, what's that, 12? Is it 12, I believe, or 14 maybe? Sirach 12 or Sirach 14. Can't remember, either one of those chapters. In the end, he's gonna declare his wickedness, bro. In the end, when it's all said and done, you gotta know, like, damn, he's that nigga you couldn't trust. That nigga you always had butterflies in your stomach when you were around this nigga right here. There was always something about this dude, and boom, now you doing a life sentence because this nigga. You see, he's dead. That's Esau. You can't trust him. All right, let's go. Let's continue on. I'm going to start up a little bit. They shall build, right, back in Malachi 1 and 4. I'm starting in the middle. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people And the people, see how that Esau is talking about, see that Edom and Esau is talking about the nation? And the people against whom the Lord Yahweh have indignation, righteous anger forever. So it's not, hey, the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Who's Amalek? Amalek's the chief house, okay, of Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. You can go read about the genealogy in Genesis 36. The genealogy of Esau, man. Okay? All right, let's go. So the Lord said what? They're going to build, but the Lord's going to throw them niggas down. And this is what's about to go down. The Lord's about to take evil out. This is the process that we're coming into now. This revived Western Roman Empire is about to be leveled, bro. Okay? That's what's about to happen. Okay, now what I want to do, let's highlight a little, all right, the birth of this Western Roman Empire regarding the behavior they will be in and how they moved. When you go to Revelations chapter 6 and verse 4, it says this, and there went on another horse that was red, and power was given him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, bro. All right, we know that that's symbolizing Esau. Hence, Genesis 25, when he was born, he was red all over. Okay? Because he's what? Translucent. He has no melanin. You see? He has no melanin. His blood comes forth. That's why the Isaac named him Isashua, right? Wasted away is he. Okay? So this is symbolic. This is symbolizing Esau right here. There's who this is talking about. Horse goes into power, right? Red is talking to evil E. Look, and power was given him, right, that sat there on to take peace from the earth, bro. Okay, and that begins, again, Maccabees. That begins since the Greeks. And now we're seeing it, we're reading about it in Revelation. You know, Revelations talks to the daughter of Babylon, which is this revived Western Roman Empire, bro. So evilness is always, wickedness and evilness always evolves around Esau. Okay? And look, it says power was given him. Job 9:24. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. You see that? Look it. And that they should kill one another. You see that? And they did that during the what? We mentioned it via the Syrian wars. Right? And they did that over here. These various civil wars that took place over here. Right? As they were colonizing this spot. Right? They were able to separate from the British. Those were wars, Edomite on Edomite, man. The Spanish-American wars. Right? So, and what have you. That all Edomite on Edomite. Them niggas never stop. Because why? There's no honor amongst thieves. Okay? And this is what we're about to see real time upon them embarking on this fourth industrial revolution. We're about to see the houses of Esau collide, man. Okay? Because you got elite houses. You got elite families, man. We're about to see the elite families of Esau collide, bro. Is what we're about to witness. Look at, and there was given unto him a great sword. They go, hey, that was his Genesis 27. Okay? The sword, he was Isaac, which was Yahweh Shai. You can receive it. If you don't believe it, go read Galatians 3:16. Isaac blessed Esau with the sword. Okay? Which is a killing instrument. Which is the modern day gun. But it ranges from that to an ICBM missile and anything in between that can delete you. Whether it be a syringe like back in 2020. Right? Or it can be some food that has, pesticides and different types of chemicals that you're not supposed to be eating, bro. Yellow 5. This nigga turned, you see? The air. Chemtrail. You see? That's all part of this dude's sword, Evil E. You see that? So power was given unto him. It says there was given unto him a great sword, man. And with that sword, what did he do? He persecuted everything. Everybody. Every nation. That's why when you go to real quick, that's the spirit. Isaiah. It highlights that. Isaiah, what's that, 14? Yup. The book of Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 5. I'll start at verse 5. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 6 and jump up to verse 5, right? He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth, man. So it highlights how evil, either wicked, he smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, bro. Right? This nigga not only persecuted Jake, he persecuted all these other nations, bro. He forced them to drink. Right? He forced his neighbor to drink. Scripture says, woe to you that forces your neighbor to drink, bro. Okay? This man has went colonizing land. Okay, breaking treaties, lying to everybody. All right, destroyed the ecosystem. All right, this nigga done got space junk in the outer atmosphere, what have you. You see, this nigga done wreak havoc on everything, bro. You see that? So guess what? When he falls victim to persecution, no one's gonna give a damn. All right, no one's gonna give a damn. Look, I'm gonna jump into verse 5. The Lord Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked. See that? And the scepter of the rulers, bro. You see, so there's going to come a time where the Lord Yahweh is actually going to completely strip Esau from the power seat. Isaiah 47. This is the time we're coming into. We're coming into the time of Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, being removed from the throne. He's about to be stripped off the power seat. This is what's about to happen, man. And no one's going to give a damn. When this nigga's in 50-foot pits, keeping warm under mud blankets, bro, hey, no one's going to care. No one's going to look down and, you know what I mean, and feel bad for this dude. Nah, man. They're going to be brought back to remembrance of what this guy was doing. You see how he was moving. Okay? They're going to remember. All right? And so are we. I'm going to go here real quick. This is the book. Matter of fact, I'm going to get this in a different version. Let me see here. Here we go. We can close out with this through the Spirit. Isaiah 34:1. I must read all the way down to 8. And I got this in the NLT. Isaiah chapter 34 in the NLT. We're going to read verses 1 through 8. Come here and listen, O nations of the earth. Let the world and everything in it hear my words. For the Lord is enraged against the nations. His fury is against all armies. He will completely destroy them, dooming them to slaughter. That's quite contrary to salvation, right? Wouldn't you agree? Demon Hakah, all right, and the minion Hassan, right? Their dead will be left unburied, and the stench of rotting bodies will fill the land. The mountains will flow with their blood. The heavens above will melt away and disappear like a rolled up scroll, right? And this is talking to them missiles. When them missiles hit, man, it's going to create that mushroom cloud, man, right? And that bosom of destruction is going to come burn everything and radiate everything up. Okay? Yeah, there's going to be a thermonuclear fallout. This is the reality of what's coming for Esau, man, and the rest of these nations, bro. And 2/3 of you niggas that don't want to repent. Okay? That's the second death. Look at the stars will fall from the sky. The missiles. This is symbolic talk, right? Allegorical speech. The stars will fall from the sky, not literally. No, the same thing as what John the Revelator seen. He's seen the stars falling from heaven. Them are the missiles, them ICBM missiles via the warheads. Okay, when they break out of the body, man. Okay. Look at the stars will fall from the sky like withered leaves from a grapevine and shriveled figs from a fig tree. Verse 5, and when my sword has finished its works in the heavens, it will fall upon Edom. See, the Lord's fitting to settle the score with this demon, man. The Lord said his sword will fall upon Edom, bro. There's going to be an aerial attack on Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man and his nation, bro. And the rest of these heathen, right? Look at the nation I have marked for destruction, bro. Evil E's marked for destruction, bro. That's why when you read quick precept, we're going to come back. I could quote it, but let's go get it. The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 33, and it reads, the curse of the Lord Yahweh is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just, bro. And ultimately, that's the elect. You know, the just will be the elect. Well, ultimately, the elect is going to be delivered from the coming destruction, bro, the pending doom. Right? Right? Your boy, that demon. All right, look at back Isaiah 34, right? Back in Isaiah 34. I'm going to read verse 5 again, and we're going to read on down. Right? For my sword should be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down. Oh, I went to the KJV by accident. Salakia. We want this in the NLT. The book of Isaiah, chapter 34 and verse 5 in the NLT, and it reads, and when my sword has finished its work in the heavens, it will fall upon Edom. It will fall upon Edom. Okay? The nation I have marked for destruction. Verse 6. The sword of the Lord is drenched with blood and covered with fat, with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of rams prepared for sacrifice. Yes, the Lord will offer a sacrifice in the city of Basra. He will make a mighty slaughter in Edom. All right, and Basra is the capital city of Edom. This is talking to America. All right, these goats and lambs and rams that are prepared is talking to you people. Okay, America's the altar. You people on the land masses, the sacrifice, bro. Okay, see, the Lord requires a blood sacrifice, man. Okay, remember, blood was shed on the land, on this land, specifically the blood of the saints. And what does it say via the law? You know I got to go get it. You, Akiam, know where I'm going. Yup. Real quick. See? The Lord's a just judge, man. This is the book of Numbers chapter 35 and verse 33, and it reads, so you shall not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood it defileth the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Hence why what we're reading in Isaiah 34 is justified. All right? That's going to be a justified judgment. You see that? Because again, when you read Revelations, I'm not going to go get it, but when you read Revelations chapter 17, I think it's verse 5, it tells you that this place is soaked with the blood of the saints. All right, that blood must be disclosed, man. That blood's not going to go unaccounted for. That blood's not going to just be swept under the rug. You see? And everything you did to Gad and the Southern Kingdom and the Taínos over here, man, it's just going to be just forgotten about. Oh, yeah, we're even. We're good. Nah. Nope. There's a penalty for what you've done. Anyways, Isaiah 34 and 7. Even men as strong as wild oxen will die. The young men alongside the veterans, bro. Whew. The land will be soaked with blood and the soil enriched with fat. Hence why you Americans are the most overweight population on the planet Earth. That's not a coincidence. Bear with me. The Lord done fatten you up for the slaughter, man. Yup. The Lord done fatten you up for the slaughter. And what is this all about? Why is the Lord going to do all this, right? Isaiah 34 and 8, again, NLT. For it is the day of the Lord's revenge, bro. It is the day of the Lord's revenge. The year when Edom would be paid back for all it did in Israel, bro. You see? So it's the year where Esau's going to be paid back for everything, bro. There's a time where this dude's going to be visited for everything he's done. You see? So as much as he's been the most reckless heathen to ever do it, right? He's went around the planet Earth terrorizing everybody and everything. Okay? There's a penalty for everything that he's done. You know, these cats are sitting up in these World Economic Forum meetings talking about how they're gonna set up data centers in space. They're gonna, you know, be able to inhabit Mars in 10 to 20 years. You know, these niggas are completely blowing smoke up their ass. Is what they're doing. You see, because they've lost sight. See, in their recklessness. Let me get this word reckless real quick. Check this out. When you get this word reckless, bear with me here.
Reckless.
Reckless, right? A person or their actions without thinking or caring about the consequences of an action. Okay? This is how Esau has operated since his inception. He didn't give a damn, bro. He didn't give a damn. He never thought about the latter end of it. Okay? And the scriptures say that. I'm gonna close out with this. We'll close out with this, right? If the Spirit allows, we'll close out right here. And I'm gone. There's the book of Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 7, and it reads, and thou saidest, I should be a lady forever. And this is talking to the daughter of Babylon, which is America. This is their thought, mindset. All right, this is their pride. All right, they think they're gonna be able to continue forever. They think they're gonna continue to be able to continue to call these you know, different land masses after their name. You know, they think they're gonna be able to continue to just rule and conquer and never be stopped. Listen to this. And thou saidest, I should be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it, bro. I got a little more. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, right? That sayest in thy heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment and one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection. Why? For the multitude of thy sorceries and for the abundance of thine enchantments, man. Okay? So, hey, your boy Evil E is going to be stopped. Okay? And when I say your boy, I'm talking to cats that want to join up to him. Right? Cats that are joining unto him. Sellouts that are joining to this guy. Hey, though hand joining hand, the wicked will not go unpunished, bro. All right? He that touches pitch shall be defiled therewith, bro. And guess what? Ultimately, your judgment is going to be likened unto his. You joined unto him, bro. The Lord's got a score to settle with Esau, man. All right? This man's not going to go on forever pursuing Jacob and, you know, keeping the yoke on us and to continue to downtrodden. Man, the Lord said, Yahweh Shai said, if the days are now shortened, no flesh should be saved, man. The days are literally being shortened because Yahweh Shai is on his way. All right? And the man, okay, that was the most reckless to ever do it is about to be stopped. Evil E. Okay? And we're literally watching the downfall of this guy. And that's the most beautiful thing to see. We're literally witnessing this guy start to dilute. He's diluting. And you can see it. You know, you can see it in the process of elimination, bro. They're dividing, you know, amongst themselves. They can't come to any type of agreement on the world stage. Trump is good with the EU. He's like, I'm good with them. You know, he's separating from the beast. The whore is trying to separate from the beast. We're seeing Revelations 17 speak. Okay, regarding the how the beast is gonna hate the whore. All right, tensions are not letting off in the east, whether the world agent really calls the Middle East, Western Asia. You know, the whole kumbaya, my lord, relationship that Trump's trying to have with Russia, that's not flying. Okay, Putin got a whole different agenda. You know, at the end of the day, you can imagine what's going on way up top, things that we don't see. amongst these diabolical international banking families, bro. You know they're having different indifferences, man. You know, and disagreements. It's without a doubt. You see, because as we mentioned earlier, there's no honor amongst thieves, man. All right, Esau's diabolical. He's about to be visited. You know, so stay prayed up, beloved Akim and Akwab. Keep watching. You know, stay faithful. You know, understand that our power, he's a just power, man. He's not going to, as much as it seems like Esau is able to just, Esau's not going to be stopped. No, he's in the process of being stopped right now. You got to see it through the spirit. Esau is in the process of being stopped. This is why the prophets of the Lord are on the scene, man. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash. Hey, double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Lord willing, you beloved Akiyam and Akwaf will edify, spiritually fed, and Lord willing informed through the spirit power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Till next time, beloved Akiyam and Akwaf. Hey, Shalom.